Welcome back. We are here in Berlin, Germany, more specifically Alexanderplatz. I'm here to have a little bit of fun, and I'm really excited, man. I've only been here one time, and I was only here for a few hours. I was not here for a very, very long time at all. Just had a little layover with the airline and decided to come hang. So it's actually nice to come right back to this very spot and start off here again. Number one, I gotta say too, man, like this place is such a vibe. Berlin is just beautiful. I've always heard things about Berlin. People love to talk up Berlin and how great of a city it is. And they're right. They're right. And, as somebody who's lived in New York for a long time, I feel like my authority on what's a good city is pretty solid, okay? I feel like my opinion should be respected a little bit. And these guys are killing it. Like I said, we're in Alexanderplatz right now. And it's funny because a lot of people think that Germans aren't very fun, right? And that they're super serious. And they are. But I will push back on that a little bit and say they can have a lot of good times, man. I mean, even just being here, there's people blowing bubbles and stuff over there. There's dudes playing music all over the place. I mean, it's nothing but a good time. And the best part is that everybody congregates and everybody kind of shows each other respect, which isn't always the most common thing in the US. So it's actually kind of cool to see this. I mean, it is really packed out here. I would kind of consider this almost like, their version of Times Square, in a way you could say. Kids playing, there's bubbles and stuff. The one time they're not blowing bubbles, but there's kids running around, they're enjoying their lives. I have a comedy show in about 2 hours. It starts, the doors open, kind of right about now. But the show doesn't start until 9 p.m. So I got a little bit of time to burn. I believe I'm going up last. I'm headlining. Ayo, there we go. So I definitely have a lot of time on my hands. And I figured, why not talk to you guys and see what we find out here, man? I don't know if I told you guys, but I haven't eaten pretty much all day. So I'm looking for some place to eat. And one thing about Germany and a lot of Europe is they have a lot of kebab. But it's like doner kebab. It's kind of different than the stuff we have in New York. Honestly, I think the kebabs here are actually kind of better. Way better, honestly. And just good vibes, man. So they got a lot of cool shit here. Seems pretty reasonable, but it looks completely packed. So I don't think I'm going to be going here. That's my one thing. I'm a city guy, but at the same time, I hate crowds. It has to be the right crowd. I have to be doing the right thing, the right activity, or else there's no point in it. It drives me nuts, So let's see. This one actually smells good. I think it's going to be fire. All right, so I finally got my food. I'm not going to lie to you. I did think German efficiency was going to be a little bit quicker, but he's alone in there himself. He's doing a good job. And it's time for us to try currywurst. If you've never tried this, it's a Berlin kind of staple. And basically, it's like curry ketchup mixed with, French fries, hot dogs. They call it sausage, but it's more of like a hot dog, honestly. It doesn't really have that sausagey taste. You would kind of think it's a little, I won't say gross, but like juvenile. Like, for a kid in America, if you have cut up hot dogs with French fries, it's good, but it's not something you would really eat. Sometimes, thinking about that would almost like turn my stomach or something if you eat too much of it. But there's something about it. I think it might be the curry that adds more of a complex taste to it. Or maybe it's just the type of ketchup that they use or something, or the mix. I don't know. But either way, this thing is fire. So we're going to try it. French fries, I got to admit, are crispy to perfection. And that's one of my biggest things with French fries is like nice, crispy, hot, really good stuff. He killed it. Fire. I'll be honest, in this video, I'm going to be doing a lot. I might be running around getting more orders of currywurst if I'm being real with you, because it's that good. It's that good. If you're ever out in Berlin, get the currywurst. It's like I don't know if it's a staple for Germany or just a staple for Berlin, but it's definitely like their thing. You know, it's like going to Philly and getting a Philly cheesesteak. You go to Berlin, try currywurst. You're gonna love it. Perfect for a late night too. It's not late yet, but the show that I'm doing is giving away free shots. So I have a feeling I'm gonna be back getting more currywurst later. All right, guys. So my stomach is full. My brain is starting to work again because I felt like I was going crazy for a minute there. And now it's time for us to go to the comedy show. See you in a second. Do you like tour outside of Berlin?
Yes.
Okay. And like, what are the difficulties of that? Because it's a whole, this is my first time doing it, but like, it's a big ordeal.
At first, it's hard to get butts in seats. You're relying on online ads a lot. However, if you can go to a city multiple times over a few years, very well. I'm talking quietly.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of comedians that have come out of Berlin, like Elena Gabrielle, who just toured and toured and toured, and now like can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Can go to India and like sell out a room.
Yeah, this place has a vibe, man. Last time I came to Berlin, I was only here for about 5 hours, just like waiting for my flight. I was supposed to stay here for a week. I ended up falling in love with Prague, so I stayed a week longer, whatever. But this time, man, I'm definitely trying to hang out. So, let me know about your shows if you want to plug your shows or anything.
Yeah. So I host a lot. And I list the shows that I'm hosting every week on my newsletter. I have a Substack newsletter because I want to have a following outside of Meta.
Of course.
And my newsletter is called You're Invited to Laugh, which you have to say at the beginning of every German comedy show. You're invited to laugh, yeah. And so that if you're in Berlin and you want to follow any of my work, you can follow the newsletter, and it lists every show I have coming up. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, Steph Deprez, and that's where you can hear about my touring shows. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Berlin comedy scene.
Yes. Let me ask, I got this one last question for you, because you kind of made a joke about it, saying it's okay to laugh, right? So Germans are kind of perceived as, hard people to do comedy with.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm 36. Everyone older than me lived in communism.
Yeah.
So here in East Germany, are we on the west side? I don't know where we are. But Berlin obviously split down the middle.
Of course, yeah.
But that means that there is still this sense of like, you don't necessarily want to televise what you're thinking. And everybody has a joke about Germans laughing, and mine is that like the way that Germans laugh is this. You just smile really big.
Yeah.
And so you can't say at the beginning like let's laugh.
Yeah.
And the
nothing worse than a quiet laugher.
No, but this is a lot of expats here.
Yeah, so it seems like
that. We'll get some German.
Get a little bit of volume in it.
Yeah. But if you go to a show where it's like half the audience is from Germany, you got to do a little more to warm them up. And this is the funny thing. You will get to the end of a show, and it will have been very, very quiet.
Yeah.
And people will tell you that they loved it. They think you're hilarious. They want to follow you, and they want to know when your next show is.
That is hysterical, but also kind of disheartening. Because if you're having like a really bad day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think you fucked up. Because I've had that happen in New York too, I feel like nowadays people are they're so self-conscious about what they laugh at and how they're perceived now. Because like at a comedy show, the audience is like part of the show now.
Yeah.
So you deal with that too. And it's just, it kills me every time. I'm like, just give me something.
You learn in Europe to take different cues.
Gotcha.
Like I will do a show and know that, and there's no laughter, but I know everybody's having a good time. So I'll say, guys, you know what? I know you're not laughing, but wir haben ein gut Gefühl, which is we have a good feeling.
Yeah.
And then they'll usually be like,
Gotcha.
Because,
Okay.
like, they're sitting there and they're vibing, and then like coming from the United States, where we have such a tradition of letting everybody know how we feel physically.
Yes, all the time. Yeah.
There is like a learning curve, and a lot of Americans might come to Berlin and be like, wow,
Fuck these people.
they don't think I'm funny. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, babe, they think you're very funny.
They're just terrified.
Yeah, or they're enjoying it in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you give yourself permission to use different metrics in order to judge your performance, it is such a free space to be playing in.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well, now I'm souped up to go do some German comedy. How about you guys?
Yeah, man, it's been almost a year since I've had sex with anybody, which is fucking insane to me, you know? Like, no man should have to go through that, ever. Right? It's painful, you know? Look at you look pent up. Look like you're about to come right now. Right?
What up, guys? It is currently 7 p.m. or around 7:30 in Berlin. And, usually I'd be around for quite a long time partying, show you guys all the cool shit. But I have been sick as a dog today. Luckily, though, because of my show last night and how I got a standing ovation, I actually got hooked up with another spot today. So I'm actually super hyped about that. It's a spot for a free Palestine fundraiser. So that's even better. Love doing something for a good cause. I'll see you guys there.
I love being out here, man. It's my first time in Berlin. Amazing place. Very multicultural, you know, so many different shades of white people. It's great. You know, it's cool though, because in America there's different shades of white people, but like you guys have culture, you know? Like American white people will be like, I'm Irish or I'm Italian, and all they do is eat at McDonald's, you know? Like, that's not a real immigrant. Like, I come from an immigrant family, okay? You're not an immigrant unless you have a house that smells differently from everybody else in the community, right? You have to earn that right.
So I just got done with a comedy show for Palestine. It's super fun. And a lot of great comics. Actually ended up doing really well again, and I'm getting hooked up with more shows, which is even better. One thing that I did notice for sure too is that the topic of America is like a really serious topic that people are like troubled about and really discussing, and it's kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's weird because we're there, so we just don't realize it, we don't think about it. But like here in Europe, they're talking about us quite a bit. Right now I'm on the Autobahn, hanging out here. Good vibes all around. It's been a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. After a dope night of comedy, you definitely work up a sweat, which is why I got a little donor here. Donor box, check that out. This is something that they do all over Europe. So the first time I ever had donor was in Madrid. And it's kind of their version of halal, right? So I believe it's a bit more Turkish, and it tastes different than the halal that's in New York City. I love the halal that's in New York City. Shout out to Halal Brothers and all that stuff, man. And there's a lot of great people here, but I'll be honest, nothing really beats the donor, man. This shit is next level. My first donor in Berlin, and I gotta say, very, very good. Very good. I like Prague's a little bit better, but this is fire. Shout out to Emma for putting me on the show, and shout out to all the other comics who killed it tonight. You know, I gotta say, man, I really love it out here, dude. You know, one of the things that I really love the most by far is that, like, niggas don't flex out here. You know what I mean? Like whatever you have is what you have, you know? And I'm not saying that, like, people don't, like, I'm not saying that people revel or something in their, like, brokenness or nothing like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just more about the fact that people don't pretend that they have more. And I feel like that's a thing that I think would make America better. I think a lot of problems in America stem from people pretending that their lives are a lot grander than they actually are, you know? And then you have this kind of civil war with people who are like, hey, that's not how things are. Stuff is really, really messed up right now. we need to do something about it. And you have this battle between real people and these kind of fraudulent, faker, flexing people. It happens all the time in the black community, but it's a larger American thing. And UK does it too. So I'm not going to say that all of Europe is immune to it, but for sure, like Germany, Madrid, Prague, there's a bit more of a weight to who they are as a person. You know what I mean? Like, I think it even goes down deeper than just not flexing. It goes into like every fiber of their culture. You know what I mean? Like even the food, right? When you go and you hang out with an Italian dude, everything has like 3 ingredients, and it's not just because the ingredients are great. They're fantastic, but it's deeper than that, bro. It's that you don't really need anything else, And I think they've taken that mentality very, very far and in a very positive way. I'm not going to say that all these European countries are like perfect. They're not. But I think they've definitely learned something, and I think we can learn a little bit from them. Anyway, I'm going to eat my donut. Fire. So I just got off the train and I'm headed to my second show of the night. The first show, unfortunately, got canceled. This is something that happens all the time in New York City, happens all the time at places in the US and stuff. And in a weird way, it's comforting to know that it happens in Berlin too. When you go around to these different places, there's always this vibe, right, of that you found this like new stand-up comedy mecca, right, where everything's perfect and no one's bitter or arrogant or angry, right? And in a weird way, it builds a little bit of jealousy and resentment, because you're like, how the fuck did these people just end up having this? And, we're here eating each other alive like cannibals out in New York City. And in a weird way, dealing with the canceled show makes me realize, like, oh, okay, everybody has their problems. It's kind of like when you go over a friend's house, right? And their family is just like perfect, like super, super perfect all the time, right? And then the 20th time that you're there, the one time you decide to sleep over for the night, that's when his parents are fighting and you hear them screaming and shit like that. And he's upset and you got to tell him to chill. And it's like, of course, you don't want your friend to be upset or anything, but it is nice to know that, like, oh, okay, they're normal. This happens to everybody. His grandma is a little nuts, you know what I mean? His dad talks a little too long, all that stuff. And it's kind of this weird kind of comforting thing. You get comfort in the misery, Misery does love company. That is a very, very true thing. So we are walking over to Cosmic Comedy right now, and this one isn't a show, unfortunately. It's more like an open mic, but the difference between, I would say, places like New York and LA is that open mics out here get like large crowds, right? So you could end up doing an open mic and there could be like 60 people. And it's kind of the same thing if you go to like small town America. If you do a show maybe in like Cleveland, there might be like a cool hot mic there that just everybody in town goes to. Sorry about that. That is fucking gross. But the point still stands, okay? There's these different, mics that are super popular that all these people go to, So even though I'm not going to make any money tonight, I'm still going to have the possibility of having a good old time and trying my bits out in front of a lot of people, which, I mean, that's why we do this whole thing, If I wasn't doing that, there'd be no point in me being here. Plus, I'll still get to use some of the content for my YouTube channel and for Instagram, so I count that as a win-win. I'll see you guys soon. There it is, people. Comedy in Berlin. We're gonna walk in and see what's good. What's happening at the old open mic right now?
We'll see what's up.
I'm a student from the Netherlands.
Okay.
So like, just do what you do, yeah.
Okay.
Don't let it throw you. Don't get distracted by them.
Yeah.
Just in the past, we've had people, and then they've just almost given up on their set, and then they've just done this shitty crowd work.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Just power through.
Power through,
do my
man.
whole thing.
Just do your shit, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
That's what I'm
fine.
saying to everyone. Like, just power through. Let's do this. We still got some pizza if you want to eat, man.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm a broke comedian. Of course I would eat. You know? Come on, baby. Hell yeah, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you. I also have a buddy who's from my hostel who's here. He came to support.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so he should be here somewhere.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find him. Thank you. Yeah. Best thing about this show, free pizza. They do free drinks for the guests and shit, which is pretty dope. Fucking nice. What's up, dude? Good vibes. I'm gonna take you guys to the back. Shit's gonna be crazy. Yo, what's good, dude? How you doing, man? Hell yeah, dude. Say what's up.
What's up?
All right, I'm going backstage. Oh man. What up, my guy? How you doing, man? Phil, nice to meet you too. I'm shooting something for YouTube. Yeah, I'll keep you off of it if you. Yeah, I don't want to have if you don't like it, Yeah. Oh, not bad pizza.
Keep it going for him, everybody. Or not, okay. Fuck that guy, everybody. All right. Dar, why would you tell them I'm American? You should have told him I was black first. Always lead with black. All right? America's fucking up right now. Jesus Christ, man.
So I'm actually down here in the metro in Berlin because surprisingly, I cannot find good Wi-Fi in this city. I swear to God, like my hotel, terrible Wi-Fi. You can't even like watch YouTube videos on it. Went to Starbucks, bad Wi-Fi. Just went to the library, terrible Wi-Fi as well. And I'm talking like bad. Like, uploading videos will take like 3-4 hours. And, these are videos that are like less than a gig. So I'm starting to think, man, I've thought a lot about all this type of stuff. And like, I'm starting to think that maybe, there's some type of like privilege with this type of stuff. I feel like Americans, a lot of times, we don't realize the ease at which we do things, And because listen, back in the US, you could like just go to a Starbucks, you wouldn't even have to buy anything, and like within 10 minutes you can like download something and you're done. Here, not so much. I don't know if it's just the packages I've been buying and stuff like that, but I even had to try and like use my hotspot, and I burned all my data for the month just trying to get up certain videos. So it's definitely a little sketchy, but we'll see. The things I do for you guys, I swear to God, because this thing, if I didn't like doing these videos, man, I'm telling you right here, right now, I would quit this. But I love it and I love you. So I guess I'm gonna awkwardly sit in the underground and download a bunch of my clips so I can finally edit. Count your blessings, people. Count your blessings. And by the way, I'm sure you can get good Wi-Fi coverage somewhere out here. I know I'm gonna have a bunch of Germans screaming at me, being like, you don't know what you're talking about, whatever. But please, let me know. If you know, direct me to someplace, whatever. Because I even tried the library, so I feel like, I've given it everything out here, okay? It is kind of crazy that the only place with a strong signal is the subway. That is a testament to how much human beings don't actually want to talk to each other when they're stuck on public transit. So that is an interesting thing to observe for sure.